I think the story that you tell in all of your books, certainly Sapiens and here, is the story of the evolutionary superiority of human beings. Mm-hmm. And in fact, you have a chapter here, I think with the title, Why Ants Have Queens But No Lawyers.
Yeah.
Humans have lawyers, but ants don't get to have lawyers. And it struck me that message or that story of human superiority, we're better than the ants or we're cleverer than the ants, is different to the ecological messaging that we're having at the moment about the extinction of species, which often downplays our importance. You know, I wonder what you think about this backlash about the Anthropocene, that humans, you know, for all our ecological superiority, that this is a moment where actually we want to downplay our superiority.
I don't think that humans are necessarily smarter than other animals. They are certainly not nicer than other animals. And again, when you place the emphasis on fictional stories, it's actually we are more gullible than other animals. We know a lot more true facts than other animals, but we also believe far more nonsense than any animal on earth. There are many things that we believe that no chimpanzee and no dog will ever consider believing because they are just too nonsensical. But we believe them. And that's the source of our power, because fiction is the basis for cooperation. And I think especially at this point in history, when we are destabilizing the entire ecological system, and we are pushing so many other species to extinction, we should take responsibility. This is not a time to downplay our power and our agency, because this implies that, hey, whatever is happening in the world, it's not our fault and we can't do anything about it. No, much of what is happening in the world in ecological terms is definitely our fault. It's the fault of the particular stories that we tell ourselves, and we can still change it. So, you know, it starts with religious stories. That again, you learn as a kid in the book of Genesis that God created humans as superior to all the other animals and gave humans actually the command to rule and exploit all the ecosystem. I mean, as if the entire, everything was just created for us.
Yeah.
And you have, I don't know, the story of Noah's flood, which again implies that, you know, the entire ecosystem is destroyed because of human sin. Which, you know, if you're a giraffe, you ask yourself, why? Well, I didn't do anything wrong. Why am I kind of drowning? Because these apes did something that, why? But the message kids get is from these kind of biblical stories is that it's all about us. And this links directly to the ecological catastrophe that we are facing, because, I mean, what led to it is this impression that the entire ecosystem is just there for us. It's just there for us to exploit and whatever. So we need to change these kinds of stories. And similarly, if you think about modern economic stories, because, you know, I mean, the biggest stories, the best storytellers today in the world are not the people who win the Nobel Prize in literature. It's the people who win the Nobel Prize in economics.
Right.
They are the greatest storytellers in the world. The one story, like everybody believes, is the story of money. Which money is just, it's just a fiction in our imagination. It's not something that, you know, it's not like a banana or a coconut you can eat or drink or whatever. It's just a story we tell ourselves. We are the only animal aware of its existence. You know, chimpanzees know that there are bananas in the world. They don't know that there is money, because money exists only in the imagination of Homo sapiens. And understanding what money is so crucial for changing the type of economic system we have, which is ultimately responsible for the type of ecological system that we have. And again, I think that kids are in a kind of privileged position to talk with them about what money is, because they still question it. As adults, we just use it all the time. We don't think about it. What is this thing? And, you know, ultimately you can think about it, you know, it's like points in a computer game. That how do you control people in a computer game? You give them points. You do this, you get points. You do this, you lose points. And money is just the points we invented for the game of life. You do this, you get points. But what are these points? This is something that, again, I think it's crucial to ask, and it's in a way easier to talk about with kids, because it's still a bit unfamiliar to them. How does it work, this strange thing with the money?